Hi guys, Ant from UK Fountain Pens here. I wanted to give you a little tour of my pen tray after the rather dramatic changes of the past month. As you can see, there's 14 pens here in this 15 pen Toyoka Craft tray. I have 3 pens that are currently out. One is the Montblanc 149 with platinum trim, which is waiting for a nib exchange to extra fine. Another is the Stipula Pen Venture exclusive in primary manipulation, which is waiting to be built. And the third is an incoming Iboya Kobu, the flute with matcha green cap, which was a bit of an impulse purchase, and there's a good chance I might flip that. So a much smaller number of pens than I've had in the past. Before I go into that main tray, there are 3 pocket pens which I have in my collection. The Pocket Master by Elwood here is a rather special new edition, and really I think a premium pen in every way, from gold nib through to ebonite construction. So if you haven't seen my review of that, do go and check it out. We have a very venerable Schon Pocket 6, which is really my all-time favourite pocket pen, I would say, in this shipwreck colour, which I never get tired of telling everybody that I picked the name for. And lastly, the Enso Puma Pocket in titanium, with its difficult to align rear threads and beautiful titanium nib. Now, getting on to the main tray, what I have here is the pens are ordered more or less by country, starting with over here these 2 beauties from the United States of America. This is the Schon Engineered Plastics Black Ultem King of Pen. The reason it's the King of Pen is because I have put a number 8 section on it and the number 8 King of Pen medium nib. I've got this inked with Montblanc Lapis Lazuli at the moment, over here on my most recent currently inked card. This is a beautifully soft nib, a tiny pen that somehow feels incredibly comfortable. It's light but feels incredibly solid. I don't know what Ian Schon has done to make this pen so wonderful, but it really has clicked with me, especially with that marvellous nib. This is the Desiderata Sobriquet Eucalyptus Burl, and again, I don't know what quite Pierre has done to make this such a great pen, but I like it more than any of the sobriquets I've owned in the past, and I've owned several. I like the characterful wood, complete with its nicks and gaps. But I think what really makes it for me is the matte finish to the section, which not only looks more aesthetically matched to the wood, but adds a pleasant level of grippiness. This pen is just the right size, it's just the right weight, and I've put an extra fine gold nib in it, which works beautifully. I have Dominant Industry Forest in this one, which is a very nice kind of emerald green. Now we have my Kasama Una Panahon with its anodized titanium section and stone embedded peak body. It is crazy. I currently have it fitted with the fine steel nib that it came with this shimmery Herbin Kenzo Shogun in it. This is a crazy pen that is, I'm in love with it because it's so unusual and so distinctly what it is. I'm waiting to find the right nib for it, and I may put a Platinum 3776 nib in it using a flexible nib factory adapter. That might be my next project. Moving to Japan, we have the Pilot Capless Wish. I have really come around to the Pilot Capless, mainly because I gave it time. After falling in love with this star-studded dawn emblazoned finish, and the usual fantastic Pilot fine nib, I've now really come to enjoy the form factor and convenience of the capless, rather than thinking of it as a rather dumpy whale, which I did before. I have this inked with Laban Artemis Navy Blue, which is a perfect fit for the colour. My Nakaya is becoming one of the old men of my collection. I've had it for a good while now, and I still absolutely adore the kind of caramel finish of the barrel here, and the underlying layers showing through. I have it inked with Ackerman SBRE Brown, which is pretty much the only brown ink that I can stand, and it's a great fit again for the colour of the pen without going all matchy all the time. The Sailor King of Pen Urushi is the one that displaced my Namiki from the collection. What I love about it is the completely streamlined shape, the fact that it has Urishi on the threads, and the marvellous nib. So that's 2 King of Pen nibs I have in my collection now. Rather than going matchy-matchy, which I have done for the last few inks in this pen, I've inked it with the dark greeny brown Sailor Rikyu Char, which is complex and murky, and I love it to bits. This pen gets a good amount of use, and I find the nib just really interesting to write with. The Santini Italia Giant Cherry Ebonite, it's going to last in my collection for a good long while, because this nib is just bonkers. It's bonkers huge, and it writes a great wet fine line, and the pen itself is just incredibly comfortable. And it just shows off the huge amount of work that was involved in making it. This has all the bells and whistles. I have it inked with Pannonia Merrick's Gold. I have no idea how to pronounce that correctly, which is a beautiful, bright teal, greeny blue with excellent haloing. I really like it. The Cuspida by Leonardo is still one of the prettiest pens I own, and I had it inked from the moment I got it for over a year with Scribo Grigio, so a more or less matching grey ink. I found myself starting to get a bit bored with this pen, despite it being perfect, and a friend of mine said, don't sell it because you clearly love it, you mention it all the time. So I figured what I needed was a change of ink. So I've inked it with Birmingham Boiler Steam Blue Black, and an ink again I hadn't used for a long time but used to really love, and the pairing is fantastic, so very much enjoying that. The Visconti Homo Sapiens Dark Age I decided to keep in my recent cull because there is nothing like the feel of this lava under your fingertips. I have it inked with Montblanc Enzo Ferrari Purple, which is a lovely, rich, luscious colour, and everything matches black, so there we go. And a new arrival. This is the Scribo Mariana from right here with an 18 carat fine nib. It does lay a pretty fine line. There's very little flex in it, and I have it inked with Ferris Wheel Press Bluegrass Velvet Canard Turquoise. If you haven't used one of these right here Scribos before, they are flat and straight and distinctly unshowy offy compared to, say, the faceted feel, or even the quite eccentrically narrowed Piuma. I like it a lot. It's good to have one of these pens back after I sold my Tropea and my Scribo 3. And yes, every time I post this, someone says it looks like the Ocean Swirl, which it really does. Although I think this is marginally less green than the Ocean Swirl, if memory serves. The Graph Classic is one of the few very slim metal sectioned pens in my collection. I keep it because somehow it fits and works really well in my hand, and also the fine nib is just so precise and scalpel-like. I sold this pen some years ago, bought another one, and I'm not going to make the same mistake again, even if I'm tempted to. I have it inked with Montblanc Hadrian, which is a very complex colour, somewhere between red and brown. It's very nice. My one surviving Lamy 2000, still arguably my favourite pen, and still inked with Dominant Industry Lake, as it has been for a couple of months now. It's a really good fit for the pen, nice bright colour, and I've got a lot of murky colours in my pen tray at the moment. My Martelet is inked at the moment with Wearingeul Demian Lost, which is this rather lovely colour changing separated grey, silver, blue colour. It's a really nice colour actually, still legible despite being quite pale, and I have a number of Wearingeul inks in for review at the moment, and I'm quite impressed with their vision and pace. Lastly, the Otto Hutt Design C, a pen that I still am incredibly fond of. I love how distinctive it is and how special it feels every time I pick it up. I have it inked with Dominant Industry Leaf Green, which treads just the right line for me between kind of khaki and lime and emerald. It's the perfect green. So there we go. That's my pen tray as it stands. 14 main, 3 pocket, 3 still incoming. I'm very happy with where it stands. I'd love to know your thoughts. Cheers.